Coach's Corner is your source. Baseball, football, soccer, and hoops. The Coach's Corner has the scoop. It's the Coach's Corner with Andy.
Covering Tri-State sports, it's the Coach's Corner with Andy on 92.1 The GOAT.
It's the Coach's Corner.
Hey, welcome to the Coach's Corner. I am Andy, and we have Camille Paul here today. She is the coach at Saint James for the girls lacrosse team. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I am good, thank you. Good morning. We are well into the spring season so far. The lacrosse team at Saint James, I think we discussed a little bit. You said you guys were 3-2 right now.
Yes.
Doing well in the season so far. We're getting that warmer weather. Everybody's getting excited, and I myself, but I really hope the cold doesn't come back. Is it really horrible when it gets like those weird cold days and you guys are out there practicing and playing?
Yes. So St. James up
Yeah.
in Hagerstown, we have like this wind tunnel from this one
Yeah.
practice field. So it's like it comes in and we're just like blown away at one point. But yesterday was just really hot. So the girls are like fluctuating between the weather. It's April, it's Maryland, happens. I think before spring break it was flurrying before, and
Yeah.
it was the tail end of March. So it
Yeah.
it is what it is.
It's been such a windy like fall, winter, and going into spring. We've
Mhm.
had so much wind. I don't think I ever remembered it being this windy. Just be
No.
glad guys don't have like an ultimate frisbee team or something like that,
Yeah.
because it just carry right away. But that's great. The warm weather's coming. Lacrosse is well underway. We're going to talk a little bit about your background, you playing in high school, your little bit of your college time at lacrosse, and we'll get into your St. James team there this year, the 2025 season. But first, we just like to hit our sponsor here and thank Premier HVAC Services for sponsoring the Coach's Corner today. They have same-day services. Their technicians are what make them great. They are locally owned and operated. They'll price match guarantee and lifetime repair guarantees for club members are available as well. You can check them out in Maryland or Pennsylvania today. Check them out, premierhvacpa.com or premierhvacmd.com. All right, so first, let's talk a little bit about you, Camille.
Okay.
How, when you played in high school, you played for Frederick High School,
Correct.
and you're from the Frederick area, I'm assuming, since you went to
Yes.
Frederick High School. You were team captain your junior and senior year.
Mhm.
Did Frederick have a JV team and a varsity team, or were you guys just strictly varsity?
JV and varsity.
Okay, did you play all 4 years?
All 4 years on varsity.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you were a freshman on varsity.
Yes.
Okay, so did you play lacrosse before high school? Were you in, like, do they have club teams around the area? Tell us a little
Yes,
bit about
so-
that and how you got into that.
Being in the Baker Park area, I used to walk to Frederick High and West Frederick and Parkway, so very local to the area. It was very prominent in my area to play lacrosse, so I started out locally with the rec team on Spires. So I started that in 5th grade. So I guess later than most people, I guess, when they come to Maryland to like start lacrosse.
Yeah.
But the club team in the area at the time was Frederick Stars Lacrosse, run by Bill Sardella. Great man. His daughters also played through the club. He continued it all the way up until 2016. After I graduated from the program of FS Lax, I coached 1 year after before going to college and loved the experience. The club was fantastic. There was a lot of girls that went on and to play college and everything, and girls in the area that still now are coaches. So it was a great program. And from there, Renegades was founded. So building up the program still within Frederick, Coach Michael Haight, he's the head coach at Good Counsel. He's been the Rebels coach, club program owner, and he founded Renegades to kind of bring the two together, to bring the only Frederick areas together. So
Yeah.
I've just enjoyed playing
Yeah.
lacrosse for a very long time.
That's so cool. So lacrosse is starting to become more of a popular sport in the Washington County area. Not every high school has a lacrosse team yet.
Yes.
But I know a few do, including St. James. So lacrosse is a pretty big sport up in Frederick County.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, Western Maryland isn't the hotbed of lacrosse, like the New York area, the eastern side of Maryland. But Western Maryland, we're still, I guess, up and coming. I mean, it's always been. You usually travel to the farther teams out east to get more competitive
Hmm.
And that's where the club teams like Maryland, MND, and Skywalkers and Heroes, like those areas, and Yellow Jackets, like up north, like they all is the hotbed of lacrosse. But
Yeah.
Western Maryland, yeah, even now in the Midwest, we're getting more teams and even West Coast teams. Like it is so amazing to see more programs established to play for women's lacrosse and girls lacrosse areas.
And that all depends on the size of the high schools as well when you're at
Hmm.
that level, correct? Because you have to have enough players, number one, to field a team, which I think is mainly the um, what they're trying to tackle in Washington County is just getting enough players interested to do so. And then you have
Hmm.
to have enough players interested in the other schools so you can play against people. But the good part
Right.
is a lot of those schools already have those teams established. There's just a few. And I was a graduate of Williamsport High School,
Hmm.
and I don't think they have a lacrosse team yet, if I'm not mistaken. But I know Boonesboro does. I think North
Yes, we
Hagerstown
played them this
does.
Friday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And Smithsburg, I know, has had a lacrosse team for a while.
Yes.
Um,
Yep.
I believe so. Yeah. So definitely seeing more and more lacrosse teams across Washington County, which is great. When you were at Frederick High School, you actually does your record for most assists in your high school career still hold?
I know. Yes, it currently still
It
does. I
does.
believe I've asked Coach Brubaker. He keeps me updated sometimes. He's still the head
Yeah.
coach there from when
Cool.
I was there. Love Brew. He's amazing through and through. But yeah, they've come close, I think. One of the Eflin sisters, I believe, took on my number and pretty much adopted the assist kind of persona. But I think I still hold it. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about lacrosse and the positions that we would see on the field. Obviously, goalkeeper is one of the main positions that most
Mhm.
people would probably know when asked about the sport if they don't know much about the sport. I know there's a certain, are there's, I know there's an attacker is
Mhm.
one position. Are there different types of attackers?
Yes, and yeah, in a way. So, I mean, without all the positions, goalie, yes, it's similar to any goalie like hockey
Mhm.
or soccer. You know, they're the goalkeeper. Within men and women's lacrosse, there's the crease. So that is the protecting circle that allows them to be within there. Different levels of the game, though.
Mhm.
Some defenders can go in collegiately, high school wise, if they play the collegiate rules, things like that. Other positions on the field for women's lacrosse, midfield. You run back and forth, you play offense and defense. In between the 30, the restraining lines, you take the draw for women's lacrosse. So you have a pair in the center taking the draw, and you have your two teammate pairs on the circle. And until position is gained, no one on the attack and the defensive restraining lines can enter into that. So it's kind of like a 3v3
Okay.
inside until we gain possession, and then it's a full field. And then beside the midfield position is the attacker position you mentioned, and then the defensive position. So with the different positions within, you have like a low and a high defender and a low and a high attacker. That's pretty much
Mhm.
the only things. I mean, I
Okay.
played at X mostly, which is behind crease. So that's a low attacker position. The quarterback, if you will, like seeing the vision on the offense, assisting, feeding, but
Mhm.
also being a threat to cage.
Okay. And so kind of similar to hockey in a sense.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm familiar with hockey. I know a little bit about lacrosse, but yeah, okay. So it sounds similar to hockey, with maybe like a little differentiations
There's wing
between.
players just the
Yeah,
same for
yeah,
lacrosse. Yep.
awesome, very cool. So when you played college, you actually played D1 lacrosse.
Yes.
D1 being Division One. For those of the listening that don't know what D1 means, sorry, I use my abbreviations without thinking sometimes. You played for Winthrop University and Radford University. And you actually won the Big South Championship with Winthrop back in 2016, right?
Yes, that's
How
correct.
was that experience? How cool was that?
That was a great experience. They had gone back to back. So when I came in my freshman year, that was the 2016 year that we won. It was an amazing feeling being part of that program, being part of that legacy. Head coach John Sung was the head of it. Just passionate about the game and just. A lot of the players actually came from Maryland, so he really pulled the Maryland talent from the state. um, so bringing it down south, where again it wasn't as prominent of a lacrosse hotbed in the South, in South Carolina. So it was a great experience.
Awesome. When you were on that championship team, did you have any aspirations of possibly going pro at any point, or were you always thinking in the back of your mind, maybe I just want to do the coaching route, which is where you're currently at now and thriving?
So at the time, I don't think there was a pro. I think it was always like a girl's like
Mhm.
aspirational dream, like one day I'll be,
Yeah.
But then coming out of college, Athletes Unlimited started, and a lot of the college girls found a path, an avenue to get into that professional aspect. And then now just came this established February, the Women's Lacrosse League, WLL, along with the PLL. So I never aspired to be a professional lacrosse player myself, but I definitely enjoyed the sport enough that when I did coach back for FS Lax when I was coming into college, I enjoyed that experience. I like teaching others the sport of lacrosse. And then coming out of that and the COVID years and everything and being more I'm a business major myself from the University of Maryland. So I just aspire to be more business savvy and go into like a career there. I worked for the Ravens coming out of college,
Oh,
so
cool.
it was I wanted to be in sports and just trying to
Yeah.
navigate that. Um, and then coaching kind of fell into my palette, my plate again. I'm just like, I really want to get back out in the field. So, yep, started again in 2023. So
Awesome.
2 years full time coaching.
Awesome. Yeah, coaching's definitely a rewarding experience for those that
Mhm.
haven't coached before. A lot of people that don't have any coaching experience just think, oh, I'm just going out and coaching kids, telling them what to do, basically keeping them in line. It's a lot more than that. It really is,
Yes. Yeah.
especially at that high school level,
Mhm.
or like right before that high school level, because that's when a lot of kids are making really big decisions in life,
Mhm.
and a lot more goes into coaching a high school sport than just the actual sport itself. When you are, when you have your girls, in your huddles before the games, and you're like prep, get them rep, like wild up for the game
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
getting them pumped up. What other ways do you approach your girls on the team to kind of support them, not only on the field but off the field too? Do you guys have any like team building activities? Do you guys are there any off season workouts that are available for them when the games aren't going on at St. James?
Yes. So I'm a big advocate for mental health for any student athlete. Student comes first, athlete comes second. So I am all about my students being in the classroom and getting it done there, and then coming mentally prepared to be putting in the work on the field. As far as out of season workouts, this past winter, St. James has officially our brand new turf indoor field house, as well as some
Oh,
other
nice.
parts of the buildings, new gyms, new ox gym for our basketball and wrestling teams and volleyball. But the indoor turf field has been a true blessing. So this winter, I was itching to get in there with the girls since I'm the new coach this season. So just establishing a relationship with them early on and doing workouts in there, stick work, conditioning, just getting ourselves revved up for the spring season.
Yeah.
And then as far as like mentoring them off the field and everything, like infield, like I'll have a player come off and they're just like revved up too much. And I'm like, breathe, breathe, like take one
Mhm.
step, or like they're so focused on the past mistake. And I'm just like, next one, right? Say, I got the next one. And it's all about that mental reset. Like goalies do a fantastic job of it. They have to have a quick um like pause or whatever, like they just have to like refresh their mind really quickly because
Mhm.
if the goal goes in, okay, you just gotta reset. So it's
Yep.
it's that quick reset button that I try and tell my athletes, like it's not going to be the end all of that one
Yeah.
thing that happened. But I'm there for them. We do lots of activities outside of it. We did I had them come to Johns Hopkins women's lacrosse game.
Oh, cool.
Took them out all the way out here to Baltimore County um, to see a women's D1 game, so that we can talk about like the movement and like the positions, because a lot of the girls don't play club or have not played lacrosse for a very long time. It is
Mhm.
a boarding school, so we also have international students that are new to the sport entirely. So I have all different levels and all different understandings of the game So teaching them different things, different areas that they're not used to, is what I'm just trying to have them get
Yeah.
together with. But yeah, I mentor them best I can. They're athletes, they're student athletes, but they're also just teenage girls at the end of the day. So
Yep.
they've got their own things going on, and as a coach, I'm perceptive and I'm transparent with them if they need to talk to me or anything that's going on in their lives, because it can affect how they're doing in school and how they're doing in the game. And I've already
Yeah.
had a few talks with some of my players, and they've been really responsive.
Yeah, and that's it's very cool to see, especially for the kids to have an outlet like that. That's not, their parents. It's not
Yep.
the teacher that they don't want to go listen to. It's, it's the cool coach, the sport I like. And so I mean I played soccer all 4 years when I was in high school, played
Hmm.
growing up as a kid. And I coach now, but I mean I coach little kids now. My daughter's 5 and I coach her team. So it's a little different than high school kids, but I remember those coaches even from my youth days. I played on one team and I'm still in contact with the guy. I think I was maybe 10, 11 years old. And I'm still in contact with him today, and he's made that
Yep.
much of an impact on my life. And it's cool to see people like you doing that at the high school level too. And it's very much appreciated, which I'm sure you know already. But so let's talk a little bit about your players. Do you have any
Okay.
players you'd like to highlight? Do you have any upperclassmen that you maybe are looking to have maybe a little bit of a breakout season? Any returning players?
So being the new coach for this season, all the girls are brand new to me.
Okay.
Pretty much besides the two club players that play for Renegades.
Hmm.
So we have Renee Sullivan, my senior. She is a 2025 Renegades member. So she's used to the club aspect. She's one of our top performers. She's our midfielder. She gets it done on both ends. Um, Standout. She's going to go to Colby next year for collegiately playing lacrosse. And then another club player is our junior, Sabrina Harmon, currently navigating the recruiting aspect of all the college coaches. She just had a visit last week to one of the colleges she's really interested in. She's also a Renegades player for the 2026s. So I've known a little bit through them. So it's been helpful to see a face I know. But as far as
Yeah.
other seniors, we have a total of 4. So Renee, and then Jordan Hughes, our senior goalkeeper, and then Gabby Robinson, and then Valerie Zumbrun. So Gabby's our attacker, and Valerie is like our mid attacker. So
Okay.
4 seniors that will be highlighting our senior day, May 2nd, home game. So we'll be looking forward to that. I also have a standout freshman, um, Kylie Kirkpatrick. She plays for club team 3D. So she has also been a big contributor, stepping up from that JV, because we have swing players. So some of our JV players can come up to the varsity and play a few games. So I have 3 swing players, Olivia, Daniela, and another Daniela. So they're all juniors, but just again that in experience that they're trying to gain from the JV
Yeah.
level and getting some varsity game reps and everything. So they'll practice with varsity. But Kylie was on that swing player last year, and so she's now made the full transition to full varsity, and she's been contributing tremendously. So I love to see that. And then all the unsung heroes that I have on my team, the ground ball hunters that get it done, the scrappy
Yeah.
players. Defensively, I have 2 sophomores, Vera and Avery. They are just at it. I also have Riley Lunderville. She's also committed to playing college next year at Bridgewater College. So a
Okay.
few commits here and there already for on my team, but then there's also girls that are just learning and still getting the hang of it.
Yeah, it's good to have a mix of players like that because then those players that do have the experience, the ones that are not as experienced, can learn from them. And it's I think a good mix is good
Hmm.
to have on the team, not only for the sport but just in general. Um, Different views make great opinions, and new friends will be made. So that's definitely a
Yeah.
good thing in high school. All right. Well, you said you guys got a game coming up on Friday. Is
We
that your
have a
next
game
game?
today, so it's
Oh,
game
today.
day.
Okay.
Game day
Okay.
today away at
All right.
Mercersburg
Okay.
Academy, and then we have a
Okay. So not
game
too far.
home Wednesday against Catoctin, and then Friday home again for Boonesboro.
Okay, yeah. So make sure you come out and see St. James and see Camille and her lacrosse team. You can come out tonight or in Mercersburg if you're near the area, Mercersburg Academy. And you said home on Wednesday and at
And
home on Friday.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Well, Camille, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you coming on the show today. Good luck for the rest of your season, and we'll talk soon, okay?
Thank you so much. All right, take care, Andy.
If you'd like to be featured on the Coach's Corner with Andy, email coach at 921thegoat.com.